Let's go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, March 7th. Welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays, serving as the chair this year. On my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1, and on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. Good morning to both of you. Before we begin, I want to remove item C2. We're going to discuss that at a later date. So first item, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
We have several items on the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, under Park Administration and Parkland Acquisition, Kent Fence Company, Inc., totaling $24,500 is for fence installation around Lake Shawnee Bark Park. Under Solid Waste Recycling, Elliott Equipment Company, totaling $192,116 is for a front-load trash truck. As of March 4th, total vouchers, $1,272,987.35. There's no questions. I'll move for approval of the vouchers.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item B, Department of Corrections number 1, consider approval to solicit bids for a domestic boiler at the Adult Detention Center. This project will include the dismantling and removal of the current boiler with the installation and startup of the new boiler. The project has been approved by ARPA SLFRF funds with project number 2021-44.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eve Kendall, Department of Corrections. About a week and a half ago, we had a boiler go down. Luckily, it was part of our plan to replace, just not as quickly as we see today. We're hoping for warmer weather for it to happen. We're requesting to solicit bids. We'll create specs and then go out for bids to get best price for the county. I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item C, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C79-2022 with the Capital City Christian Chamber of Commerce for the 2022 Topeka Family Fun Fest activities to be held in Garfield Park on April 16, 2022, with the $500 special event fee and $810 in park-related expenses to be paid to Parks and Recreation.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. This is one of our more popular events. It's one of the best events around for Easter. If you remember in the past, we've done this, or this group has done this for several years. The last 2 years, though, it's been postponed because of COVID. It's a great family event starting at 10 in the morning to 3 p.m. At Garfield. There's a parade, there's music, petting zoo, everything for children besides one of the best Easter egg hunts. I will be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Randy?
No. I'd move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Randy.
Commissioners.
Next item, please.
Item C2 has been pulled. Item D, Audit Finance number 1, consider approval of request to post and fill the position of a Director of Information Technology with salary dependent on qualifications.
Good morning, Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. Before I get to my requests for approvals, I would like to say a few words about the retirement of Pat Oblander. As you all know, and I think most of the county and the public knows, Pat has been just a very important part of our Shawnee County leadership through these years. And although IT is a service function, we know that the county couldn't run without it. So it is a very important part of it. Pat has been instrumental in implementing many significant improvements in our technology infrastructure. He, especially during the onset of COVID, we saw that Pat and his team were really very proactive in equipping all of us to work from home and remote work. And Pat has always been very mindful of protecting the county from any cyber attacks. We know that that is an ongoing concern to everyone. His development team has gone in a new direction with the agile project management development process, and they've developed, many of these applications that we all use. The Awesome Q, the appraiser's Aries, I believe how it's pronounced, our online bid portal, the solid waste billing program, and many others that the county uses on a daily basis. Pat has always been a team player. He is a team player in helping the departments. He's a team player in watching his budget and trying to always make sure everything is cost effective. And he's just influenced every department in the county. He has certainly been a pleasure to work with, and he will very much be missed. He has been with the county for 23 years and has been the director for 10. So I would like to invite everyone to his retirement party that we are going to have Thursday, this Thursday the 10th, at the Celtic Fox from 4 to 6. Everyone's welcome, and I hope you will join us. So,
Thank you. Would Pat like to say anything, or you want to save that for your last day, or no?
Say a couple of words. Thank you, Betty, for the kind words. Just so everybody knows, most of those accomplishments weren't done by Pat Oblander. They were done by the team that Pat Oblander works with, and the team starts at the top with the commissioners. I would like to thank you in particular for your support over the years for the IT department and our goals and priorities. I'd also like to answer the question, finally, I keep asking each of the 3 commissioners, why do you do what you do? You don't make a ton of money doing it. You come in every 2 weeks and you're making decisions that are probably going to make some people angry, as you're never going to come up with situations where you can make everybody happy. So what is it that motivates you? I think I've got an answer in that I think that the county is blessed with a large number of people that are here to try to do the right thing for the community, the Shawnee County community, and all of the taxpayers that send their hard-earned dollars to us to manage. So thank you, commissioners, for what you do. I think it starts at the top and it percolates down through the rest of the organization. There's a large core of people that work here in Shawnee County, and I work with all of them daily, that are here to do the right thing. And it's been an honor and a privilege to work with such an awesome team for so many years. I really appreciate the opportunity. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Pat.
Chairman.
Yes.
Pat, I just want to thank you and your team. The improvements that you've made just even over the last 10 years have been monumental. Taking the county from our old computer server system that kept you up at night where you never knew if it was going to work or not, to a virtualization platform, to an updated virtualization platform, the installation of all of the applications that Betty talked about have really moved Shawnee County to the forefront as far as what the public should expect from their IT department. really, really appreciate everything that you've done and look forward to the ability for you to do more.
Pat, I too would like to say thank you. I've used the expression painting a moving bus many times. That is your job. It is constantly moving and it's constantly changing, and you've been great at keeping us updated and keeping us protected. So thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
absolutely. I think I'd like to thank you as well and also congratulate you on your retirement. It's well-deserved. I know you saved our taxpayers probably millions of dollars over the course of your career, as well as, helped us remain efficient and up to date on all of our technology to protect our taxpayers from cyber attacks and things that might come in. We're dealing with tax collections, we're dealing with the criminal justice system, and there's a lot of things that have to be protected, and you've done an excellent job of that. And I know you say it's the team, but you're the one that assembled the team that we have, and so I certainly appreciate that. So with that, I would make a motion that we approve and request this job. So thank you, Pat.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook.
Excuse me,
Oh,
I
sorry.
actually have 2 approvals that I'm requesting.
Oh,
The first
Well,
is
all right.
to post and fill his position. Then I would also like to request the approval to name Mark Price as the interim director of the Information Technology Department, beginning on Friday, the 11th. We know that the work of the county has to go on, so I
Okay.
would like to name him as interim, so I have those 2 requests.
okay, let's do those separately,
Okay.
just to make sure it's clear on the minutes. So I'll stick with my original motion that we approve and request the position, to post and fill the position.
Second.
Okay, so motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Okay, now I'll make another motion that we appoint Mark Price as interim IT director.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays,
Excuse me,
seconded by...
Commissioner.
Cindy
Yes.
has something.
Were we going to, or maybe we're going to set a salary at that gym, or is that not
Yeah,
necessary?
we'll have to discuss that.
Oh, that's going to be after, so that's something we'll discuss later. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure we didn't find
This
out.
will direct me to work on putting something together. Hopefully, we'll have something on soon.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that Angela wouldn't have a heart attack back there going, they did it, and I don't know how to perform. Thank
So
you.
we're good then?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item E, Counselor, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C80-2022 with Seni Company to serve as the design builder for the 707 Southeast Quincy project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Kraus, Shawnee County Counselor. This item is the renovation of the 707 Southwest Quincy building and the renovation of selected portions of the Shawnee County Courthouse. And I just want to say we're very fortunate to get several excellent responses for this project. In the end, we selected the team of Seni Company and HTK to do this project. We're really excited about that, ready to move forward. I want to thank Matt McGivern, who's here, for jumping right on that contract and getting that to me. This item before you today is our request for approval of the master contract that'll govern the relationship between the county and the design builder parties. We will have one more major item left, and that'll be an addendum that follows with the guaranteed maximum price and some other items in that. But this is the main contract that we're seeking approval on that'll govern the relationship between the parties during construction. And I'll try to answer any questions that you might have. Got these gentlemen here, Zach Sneeden and Nelda Henning here, who will be overseeing the project for the county if you have any additional questions.
Any other questions?
I would move for approval.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you. I just want to say real quick, thank you to Pat for all the excellent service for the county counselor's office and I didn't always know what a hyper-converged virtualization platform was, but I always had comfort that Pat did know what that was, and so we could rely on that. Thank you, Pat.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
before we depart, I don't know if Mr. McGivern or Mr. Smith have anything they want to add to the contract or kind of thoughts going forward, or?
Anyone from the design construction team want to?
Matt McGivern with Senny and Company, I think we would just thank the county for the consideration. We're looking forward to moving forward with design services and construction services on 707 and then selected areas of the courthouse.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Great.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. Next item, please.
Item F, Health Department, number 1, consider approval to apply for the Kansas Department of Health and Environment aid to local grants for the state fiscal year 2023.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director of the Health Department. Today is the day to ask for our annual approval for the application for the aid to local grants for the Health Department. This year, we are applying for a total of 8 grants through the Kansas Department of Health and Environment. So our requests this year total $1,222,015. You will see that we are requesting quite a bit more than we did last year, and then even more than what we received. Largely, this is just due to the increase in cost of the program. So I'm going to go through each of the programs that we are applying for and tell you a little bit more about them. First is our child care licensing program. This is a regulatory program, so the team does the initial certifications for new providers here in our community. They also do all of the annual visits. If there were to be any complaints, they investigate those. They also do all the after-school cares, the summer camps, things of that nature, so they stay really busy. This year, when I asked for the numbers, we have around 314 licensed providers. Compared to last year, we had about 335. So this is a trend that you guys are hearing over the past several years of a loss of child care providers here in our community. Licensed providers are both centers and home daycares, so that's something we continue to monitor. We do partner with Child Care Aware at least once a quarter to offer a new orientation for people who might be interested in becoming a provider. Those have been on hold due to COVID, but we are getting ready to start those up. I think there's one scheduled for next month. So the request amount for this year is $225,441. This grant, along with most of the others I'm going to talk about, goes towards the staff salaries to fund the programs. Next is our chronic disease risk reduction, also known as our CDRR grant. This grant really looks at different activities to impact the health of our community through getting at chronic diseases. So typically, tobacco use is one that we focus on. The group is required to write several plans that they are going to work on throughout the year. One we have worked on in the past is the multi-unit housing, and I think that one's coming back to see what additional work can be done on that, in addition to working with a couple of school districts with tobacco use. So as a reminder to all of us, chronic disease accounts for about 90% of the healthcare costs here in our nation. So anything that we can do to work on impacting individuals' health is important for our community. Our requested amount this year is $41,493. Our immunization action plan, this is an actual set amount, this allocated amount, so the $33,438 is what we already know we are receiving. It is the same amount we received last year. This is what allows us to provide our vaccines for children, or the VFC program. That would be for children who qualify for the Medicaid insurance through the state of Kansas to be able to provide vaccines for them at no cost. So happy to report we served about 200 more children last year in 21 than we did in 20. So we continue to work to get back to our pre-pandemic numbers. We are still by appointment only through immunizations, but we're in early discussions to open that back up to walk-in clinic. We know that's a model that works really well for those here in our community. Maternal and child health, our requested amount this year is $402,635. The programs that will go towards include our First Steps, which is our targeted case management through our licensed master's level social work program for at-risk families here in our community. Our Baby Basics is our group prenatal classes that we offer either in person or virtually, depending on what's going on in the community. Our newborn home visits provide a transition from hospital to home for at-risk families. And then our fetal infant mortality review, which looks at eligible fetal and infant deaths here in our community for gaps and trends to help identify what we might do to reduce the disparities seen here in our community. Local preparedness. Well, you guys have seen this at its finest over the past 2 years. This is really the preparation, the planning, and then the ICS structure, the action of what we've been in for the past couple years due to the pandemic. So when we're not during a pandemic time, this is still the group that helps us prepare and plan for any disasters and emergencies. So helps us get ready for any natural disaster or anything else that might come our way. So the dollar amount that we're requesting this year is $108,185, and this is the same amount that we received last year. To go along with that preparedness, we serve as the regional coordinators for a group of 8 counties here in northeast Kansas. Those counties include Marshall, Nemaha, Brown, Donovan, Jackson, Atchison, Jefferson, and then us. So our requested amount of $39,210 actually goes to provide for the staff that serves as that regional coordinator. So they're responsible for pulling together the 8 counties through various meetings, a lot of networking, support, and mutual aid. And they've worked really well over the past couple years to be able to help each other through this pandemic, and are looking forward to what work they might be able to do after this. State formula, this is another allocated amount. So this is dollars that are given to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment through the legislature to be distributed to local health departments. So our funds are based on our population and our tax allocation. Our allocated amount last year was $163,288. When I was here last year, there was a bill in the legislature to actually increase the amount. And so this is what our amount ended up being. It was the first increase the state formula had seen in 18 years. So I'm happy to report there's actually another bill in the legislature as we speak to increase that dollar amount even more. So we know this will be our minimum amount that we'll receive. The state allows local health departments to use these grant dollars as they see best fit. So for us, that has worked well in our clinical services division, and it provides for 2 of our nurses' salaries over there. Family planning. I was just here last week to announce the opening of this program in our clinical services division. I'm happy to report Carrie Dels is our division manager, and we're seeing patients in the clinic today, so I'm really excited. Our requested amount in this program is quite a bit more, as you'll see in the next slide, than last year. So we're at $208,324, largely because we have got our mid-level provider on board with us this year. And just looking ahead to really having the program up and running, we anticipated last year and things didn't work out as we planned. So we've got a good full year now planned out for this program, and so you will see that this is a higher dollar amount. This slide just looks at, the blue tells you what we were awarded last year, and then the red is what we've requested this year. So the family planning is where you'll see the largest change there, as I mentioned. So as I mentioned, some of these are allocated amounts. We already know what we're receiving. Some are more competitive. So upon your approval, these will be submitted to the state. And from there, some of these we will hear as early as May. Others we may not hear until June or almost the start of the next state fiscal year. When those award letters come back, I bring them back to you for your permission and approval to accept those award dollars. As I mentioned, I have Carrie Dels with me today. Edith Gaines, who's our finance officer, actually serves as the administrator for all of these grants. There is a program that the state uses that everything gets input into, and all of our grant reports and fiscal reports are uploaded into it. So I want to say thank you to her and all the division managers for writing the reports and the grant applications. It was a hefty report, almost 200 pages this year. So a lot of work goes into this, but this is really truly the bulk of what we do through the health department in a given year through our programs. So I'm happy to answer questions about the process or any of the programs.
Any questions for Teresa?
There's lots of programming, so.
Yeah, I know you guys put a lot of hours and into this, and so best of luck on the application. I hope it goes well for all of us. So
Thank you.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item F2, consider approval of request to offer a candidate the position of Health Services Team Leader, Nurse Family Partnership at Range 17, Step 10, with an annual cost of $86,467, including benefits, to be paid out of the Early Childhood Block Grant and the Medicaid Match Grant.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. As the clerk read, we do have a candidate of choice that we would like to offer the Nurse Family Partnership Team Leader position to. This is a candidate who actually has a knowledge base of the Nurse Family Partnership Program already. So they would be able to come in, hit the ground running, really just need to move into the supervisor side of things. It does require a bachelor's level of nursing, and so that sometimes proves a little bit more challenging for us. And as you're well aware, we do have an abundance of nursing vacancies. So we are excited that we have this actual candidate and would be able to like to start them at this range.
Any questions?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Teresa. Next item, please.
Item 5, public comment.
Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak today? Seeing none, next item.
Item 6, Administrative Communications.
Any department heads wishing to speak?
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Parks and Rec. I do want to remind everybody that Dino Days is still going strong. We had another strong weekend this past weekend, and the event does go through to the 1st of May. So encourage people to come out. I also like to take the time to thank Pat for all you've done for Parks and Recreation. The online registration for shelters and programs was very difficult to get through, and him and his staff did a great job, and they were always there to help anytime we needed help. I could drop Pat a note and he'd always be there. So I just want to thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. I would just like to remind everyone, and I hope this comes up, that our referral bonus program actually went live this morning. It is a payment that is installments of $1,500 for the new hire employee and for the county employee who refers them. Each installment would be for $300, and it comes upon hire, upon completion of 90 days, upon completion of 180 days, 270 days, and 1 year of employment. The positions that are active and open with this are the Sheriff's Office Communications Specialist, the DOC Corrections Specialist, DOC Custodian, the Health Services Liaison at the DOC, the Parks and Recreations Park Maintenance Worker, Public Works Road Maintenance 1 and Bridge Maintenance 1, as well as the Health Department Registered Nurse, Dietitian, and Payroll Assistant. We will also be adding the Facilities Management Building Supervisor to the list. Positions will come on and go off as we hire people, and we look forward to working with this program. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have on this.
Any questions for Angela? No? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can get this down.
Anyone else? Commissioner Rippon.
Had a nice weekend. Did a little volunteer work at our dinosaur days at Great Overland Station. It's a fun thing to volunteer for because you see the full gamut of reaction from kids as they come in there. It's just it's a good afternoon. So.
It's pretty cool. Commissioner Cook?
I know there's a lot of activity out the lake and Bark Park and everything else, so I want to thank the Parks and Rec team for all that they're doing.
Yep. Absolutely. I don't have anything else to add today, so next item, please.
Item 7, executive session.
We do have a need for executive session today, so I will move that we go into executive session for a period not to exceed 20 minutes. We'll begin that at 9:35 for the following reason: for consultation with an attorney for the public body or agency which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, specifically to discuss contracts with 2 vendors regarding the Stormont-Vail Event Center. No action is expected at this time.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays and seconded by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
What time?
I said 9:35.
Oh, okay. I didn't miss that.
For 20 minutes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Cool.
We are almost in executive session. We're back from executive session. No action was taken. We are adjourned.
One thing for all three of you to sign, and the rest of